Hello, friends. Orson Welles once said, "Every actor in his heart believes everything bad that's printed about him." So it was fascinating to read Daryl Hannah's impassioned op-ed in the New York Times last week, where she defended her reputation in light of Ryan Murphy's recent series about JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. She takes exception that the showrunner was trying to change the narrative by depicting her in a way that's neither remotely accurate nor fair. But one of the show's producers is quoted as saying that she occupies a space where she's an adversary to what you want narratively in the story. Now, we may not be celebrities, but we all know that it's no fun having our life story told in ways we don't approve, which was a criticism leveled at Fawn Bodie when No Man Knows My History, her biography of Joseph Smith, was published. It was one of the first examples of psychobiology in which Smith, the founder of Mormonism, is presented as a fraud who came to believe his lies. The Mormon hierarchy was unimpressed, but other scholars were. And I don't say that to denigrate Mormonism, because lots of folks have written incendiary things about Jesus too. Remember the Jesus Seminar? But it's not fair to say these scholars were motivated by a spirit of iconoclasm, because they were sincerely trying to get to the truth of who these historic figures really were. Yet their attempts were ultimately futile because no one, can know our histories, including ourselves. Let's face it, we narrate our lives in ways that show us in a favorable light, and we do so because we don't want our true story to be known. We hide behind curated personas and social conventions, even in closets. However, God does know our history, good, bad, and ugly. With God, there can be no spin, no angle, no equivocation. Of course, lots of folks were taught a certain story about God in which he occupies a place in human history as a stern judge, which leads them to have a warped and unhelpful view of God. Jesus tried to teach people a different history, one where we didn't need to believe every bad thing printed about us. He taught us we can't believe everything we read, even when those things are printed in Holy Writ. But we can believe what's printed on his hands and in our hearts, a history at once both wondrous and fearsome. So much so that we can hardly believe it. But we can live it, and must. At least, we must if we want to change the narrative.